Illegal search, illegal search, illegal search. You can't.
He just gave me consent to go in his back pocket. Thank you very much.
Come here, big dog. Like,
And as a CPO,
The police jumped out on me downtown Detroit because they seen my gun print showing through my white t-shirt because I got a big Glock. And when they seen me walking up the street, they jumped out the car, or they rode up on me and told me to come here. And legally, I could have kept walking because they didn't have any probable cause. Correct me if I'm wrong. So then I willingly walked up because I knew that I didn't have anything to hide, and I wanted this to be an opportunity to show them that, you know, not everybody who have a gun on them is illegal. And I wanted to use this as an opportunity to show the people that follow me how to interact with the police and know your rights and know what and what not to do, because I knew that, you know, I didn't have anything to hide. So you can see how he looking at me because they didn't really expect it, and it almost seemed like they knew they messed up. But after this, you know, they took it as an L, and then they, moving forward, the other cops in the video that I ran into, you know, they showed love. All right, so what I'm about to do is look through the comments of this video. So it was the big Glock. It was a tiny shirt I had on. That's the top. That's really the top comment, the tiny shirt. I ain't gonna lie, the white tees are something that when Detroiters wear them, if you do got a strap on you or a gun on you, like the white tees is a giveaway. Like, because the white tees it print, and that's the first time that I really was printing that hard when I had a white tee on. It was causing trouble. So like a black tee, a hoodie, or a jacket is way better to conceal carry. You stopped because you didn't want to play with your life, which was smart, trust me. Yeah, and basically he's saying I stopped because this comment saying I stopped for the police because I didn't want to keep walking and play, right? So, I mean, in a way, like, I legally didn't have to stop. Let's say if they did something to me, they would have been liable for that. They would have been the ones in trouble for that, right? Like the police. And then would have been nice to hear the interaction. Oh, yeah, well, cops was fixing his hair. He didn't realize it might be one more. Realize he might be one more than just a camera roll. Yeah, so people like how they saying a cop was zesty. That's crazy. But yeah, so I mean, this ain't the first time that happened. I've had a few different police interactions where the police jumped out on me and they either surrounded my car with guns and was like, you got any guns or drugs? And then I had another situation where I was on my motorcycle, then they ran up on me and pulled it off my hip, and then one of the cops was holding his gun. So like the thing is, there is a description, you know, when it comes to like Detroit specifically. I mean, it's like that in inner cities all over the country where like police see a certain description and they like, okay, bet, you know, thug, right? And they might be right. Let's say, well, like 95% of the time where if they look at somebody and see a print and be like, oh, it's illegal, right? But the problem that I have is when somebody is legal and they get treated like they are illegal. So the question for me is like, what I want to ask y'all is, should the cop approach every situation the same and just assume, you know, like this person might be an aggressor? Or should it be like they take their time to see what's really up and see what's really good? Because let me show you. So let's say they treat everybody aggressively, right? It's going to make people who legally have their guns and their firearms feel violated, right? Where it feels like, dang, I don't have the privilege to carry. And let's say they treat everybody like real nice. It might make people feel, or they might actually get hurt, right? So let's say if they do deal with somebody where, you know, they got an illegal gun or something like that. But 9 times out of 10, I think if they approach it with caution, it's a balance. You know what I mean? I think the balance is they approach it with caution, but then they still kind of have that, hey, man, you got your... Because I've had some cops come up to me and they wasn't as aggressive and they're like, hey, you got a CPO for that? And I'm like, yeah. And they cool. So it's all a discretion. So it is sometimes in Detroit where it gets wild, where like Greektown, downtown Detroit, where it get wild, where people come out with guns, people be getting shot, like all that. So I get why tension can really be high. And they get nervous, they get scared, they don't know what's going on, they don't know who got what. And yeah, I mean, a lot of time when you intervene, you could lose your life. So I get it. And a lot of police officers have PTSD. They got trauma, they got PTSD. And a lot of military people. So is the people in the street. So what I like to do with my platform is educate the people. Here's how you carry. Here's what you do. And then I like to also make videos where the police can see like, okay, bet, like this is how, you know, we messed up, right? It's educational in a way. So I know it's a lot of people in the comments that it was another video I did about felonies, right? So I know when you get a felony, you can't get a gun, but I've heard that you can get it removed. So let me know if that's right or not. You know, if people can get their felonies removed and still possess a firearm. I don't know. But one of the biggest things is I like to educate people on rights as I still learn my rights here in Michigan and as an American citizen. And I also like to show them how to be calm and interact with the police, because it can be scary on both sides, believe it or not, right? So a lot of time a police officer can be nervous interacting with me, right? Especially if I'm looking serious, right? I get it. So the best thing I learned is like, hey, what's going on? I had police officers jump out on me yelling, hey man, what's up? You got guns in the car? I'm like, nah, I ain't got no guns in the car, and I get it. A lot of time we be scared, you know what I mean? And it's not necessarily our responsibility to make them feel safe, but it's our responsibility to make sure we not getting, you know, taken advantage of. That's how I look at it. It ain't my responsibility to make a police officer feel calm, but it's my responsibility to make sure I communicate and share what's on my mind and what I got going on. You get what I'm saying? So let's say if I feel like I'm threatened, it's my responsibility to make sure it doesn't happen to me, right? And I can speak up for myself and protect myself with that. So if I get pulled over, then it's like, all right, look, I got my license, my registration, insurance, whatever you need. And I just keep it cool. I keep it P, right? But the problem is when guys be, man, what? Man, no, you pulling me over because I'm black. It's like, bro, I ain't got nothing to say, bro. Listen, we can argue in court. We can argue when the proof evidence come out. We can argue with the videos. Like, but when it come to arguing with them on the spot, I don't do all that, bro. Like, you can talk, you can have a conversation, but it ain't no point. Like, what you gonna argue with a police officer? Who gonna win? The police officer gonna win if you wanna argue. And then sometimes, like, look, I remember I ran a red light. And when I ran this red light, the police officer pulled over and was like, you know, like, what did you doing or something? He said, I ain't run a red light. I actually turned before it was my time to turn. And the car got mad. I was like, you know, I did mess up. Like, that was my fault. Like, if y'all want to give me a ticket, that's cool. And when that happened, I admitted it. And it was all love after that. He was like, okay, he admitted his mistake. And then it was cool off from there, right? But not all the time. I like to say it this way. It's your responsibility to communicate and protect your life and do what you need to do in that situation to get out of that situation. Then if they do something, then you take it to court, right? And then that's all I'm about, is educating the people. So let me know what you think about this situation when the police officers came up. I can keep reacting to these comments. I got more videos. But this is a big thing I do. Gun safety and gun education. So drop a comment, drop a like. Let me know if, you know, what you think about this and what I should do next and talk about. All right.